Looks like we're going to have a real casualty when it comes to the movie theaters. Just saw this coming out from MovieWeb. AMC theaters may never recover and shut down for good. It's one of the largest theater chains in the country. Also, with a worldwide prominence with Cineworld and Odeon Cinemas, it's the largest controller of movie theaters. Now, in the corporate sense, it looks like it's an interesting story, but honestly, a lot of people losing jobs as a result is what's going to suck. And they also have done a lot of work to go ahead and improve these theaters to get, new red leather seating, improve to getting IMAX and other things. Like we just have a brand new remodeled cinema in West Palm Beach where I'm at the Rosemary Square. They converted from a 20-screen movieplex to a 12-screen with an IMAX. And it's unfortunate if this thing's going to go, if they're not going to be able to hold on to this, because AMC does a really good job with their theater work. I mean, they really have good theaters, as far as I know, from across the board. Kevin Bergwick reports that S&P Global has downloaded the AMC theaters credit rating down, and here's what they're dealing with right now. So S&P states that we expect AMC Entertainment Holdings, AMC theaters will remain closed beyond June due to the global current impact. And here's what is next said, because they're in a bind because they are in a deficit. Here's what they said. We do not believe AMC has sufficient sources of liquidity to cover its expected negative cash flows past the midsummer, and the company will likely breach its 6 times net senior secured leverage covenant. So they're going to go out of business, it looks like. They are the biggest, the chain of America, drowning in debt, only getting worse now. So it's catastrophic across the board. AMC reported at the end of 2019 a $5 billion plus deficit and losses of $149 million for the year. They were probably expecting that a lot of big screen movies would come and really bring people to the theaters. But, the box office has not had a real good whirlwind run of it for a while now, which really sucks. AMC's top executives, by the way, they did net $110 million in 2018. AMC's top executives have announced they can take significant pay cuts to keep everything afloat for as long as they can. But right now, 600 corporate employees have been furloughed, and S&P analysts are unsure if all the cost-cutting measures will be able to help out in the long run. They've had to say this in a recent report. And so more about this, it says, even after significantly lowering fixed costs and capital spending requirements, we can only expect the company's liquidity sources to last through midsummer, and the liquidity of the AMC theaters as a whole is weak. The company will pursue incremental financing through the CARES Act for its lenders. So that means the new act to help, businesses in the new proposed stimulus bill, or actually the past stimulus bill, through the work with the National Association of Theater Owners, is going to get them some relief, but not all. But it's unclear when or if it will be able to secure additional liquidity. It's an institution. I mean, AMC theaters have been around for a very long time. They have to see if it's going to be able to hold on. Now, if they are able to successfully get financing, they could keep their doors open. But that will depend on everything when it's able to get back to some form of normalcy. It doesn't look good for now. It means everybody might have to stay indoors a lot longer than expected. This is pretty much on a day-to-day basis. We'll just have to wait it out. And that's the story right there. So those movie theaters, can somebody else buy them? I don't know. I don't know what you do at this point, but it's concerning. Think of all the movies that are not going to be able to be played at these big movieplexes and the loss of revenue. Yeah, AMC is going to lose revenue, but then the moviegoers are going to lose access to these theaters. And, when people are going to want to come back, they're not going to want to go to a crowded theater again, not right away. When we're seeing people are going to be willing, we're seeing studies right now that people are willing to go and come back and be at the theaters. Well, then let's see what happens here. That would be a good thing. Because there is a story I talked about on my Broadcasters podcast this past week. But before I do that, let me tell you about kingofamazon.com. Again, that's my link, so you can go ahead and get whatever you need from Amazon. All I'm asking you to do is simple. I'm not asking you to go and spend any more money than you would already spend, but go to kingofamazon.com right there on the bottom, because right there, right over here, right over here, is where you go ahead and go to. When you go to King Amazon, then you're just going to the website of Amazon. That's it. But when you're going to that special link, it actually goes in so that I can get a commission. It's like a sales commission for anything that you buy from the store. So if you need toilet paper, you need hand sanitizer, they have it now in stock. You can actually get it. Plus anything else that you need. If you want to avoid going to the grocery store or going to buy anything else at all costs, let Amazon deliver it to you because they're still working. They're still going to do it. And I hope you can consider it. KingofAmazon.com. Moviegoers are highly likely to return to theaters upon reopening, but more than half will wait a bit, a study suggests. So this study from EDO's Social Distancing Moviegoing and TV Habits, which they polled respondents 6,800 nationwide last week between March 24th and March 28th, they asked about their at-home viewing habits during this quarantine time and their readiness to return to the cinema. They said that in promising news for exhibitors and studios, more than 70% of those polled indicated they were likely to return to theaters once they reopened. 45% saying highly likely. That is good for all. So we have to wait and find out what happens if AMC is going to survive. But you know what? For those that like to be entertained, then you would hope that something like AMC, a long, reveled movie institution, a brand that everybody knows, and it's probably near to most people around the country, you want to be able to go and see that this movie chain survives, because there's got to be a few things that stay alive after all this is done. And I hope the movies will stay alive after all this.